Holloway.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Josh. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you for that endorsement on the song. Gave us a lot of time for community as a cast. So we would sing and play guitar and have arguments about, you know, best 5 candy bars, best 5 cereal. You know, it was just fun. That was fun times. So those were good ones.
As Josh said, it was 5-6 years of our lives, so to encapsulate it in just one thing is impossible. And also, I was coming from the UK to Hawaii, and that in itself is a major move. And you go, what is this place? And you know, where is this place? And, so there was just so much, and then being on that show and being in that character, getting that scripts and adjusting to being on a show, you know, kind of like winning the lottery. So there was just so much to take in, but the overall just feeling of it is one of just, I miss it. I miss that time, you know. We miss it too. That's what yeah. You know, just that. If I could say one thing, it's just the feeling of, oh my gosh, that was just such a great time. Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna dive into the show. Henry, like I rewatched some of the key episodes leading up to this, and I'm just continuously struck by how emotive and caring you were. Like every scene kind of got better just from you in it, because you gave room for other people. You kind of helped build them up and helped them go to those low places. How are you able to just continually dial in and kind of be that such a giving like actor?
I remember Terry Quinn saying something about acting, about you're only as strong as your scene partner. You know, it was, do you remember this? He used to talk about like this triangle thing. Like if you're coming into a scene and if you're too strong, you're going to overpower. But if you're too weak, you're not supporting. And it's just finding that right balance of just coming in there and that's when the scene is. And that's what, as actors, we're always looking to the best moments of acting are when you both walk away from the scene and go, that was fucking great. We did good work. That's the best moments. And that's what that's the magic. And sometimes when you can win a scene, you're better than your partner, or you think you are, but it doesn't really work. And so I always feel like I want my scene partner to be brilliant, and I want to be as brilliant as that scene partner, and that's just always been the aim for me. So I'm always open, whatever they give, I try and, anyway. So that's how I look at it. I remember that answer.
That's why they rarely put us together. He would overpower me.
We hardly ever worked together.
I went right to the execs. I was like, don't put me in a scene with him. He's too powerful.
I think we had one scene.
One scene with the pig.
That's right. That's only once ever. That was it. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know either, but it was a good scene.
I think so.
He did good.
Yeah, it was.
Josh, as I mentioned before, I rewatched some of the key episodes leading up to this, and I watched it as it was coming out, and I just loved your character. At the beginning, you were such an a-hole. I wanted to hate you. I wanted to hate you so bad, but you kind of won us over. Like, did you know that whole arc was coming, or are you like, I'm just gonna be that guy?
No, actually in the original pilot, they had me drop Jorge, and he died. And I was like, I'm dead, first season. You don't come back from that. And then so luckily the new script came in and that was not in it. And, but he was, like you said, a bit of an a-hole. And so I fought for any humanity I could find in him. So that letter, and I was like, oh fuck, this could save me. You know? So I really leaned into his humanity because it was very little in the beginning, and they let that grow, luckily. So it was really about that.
I read that when you first auditioned for the part that you had, it was very different you were wearing like Prada suits and were decked out. And I was kind of imagining, how would you wear a Prada suit on an island? It's be way too hot. Not that you wouldn't look good in a Prada suit, okay? But how did you feel about the role being tweaked so much, like around what you were bringing to it?
Well, I was overjoyed because originally he was from Buffalo, and a Prada wearing, you know, slick con man from Buffalo, New York. So it's like, what am I gonna go like, yo, here I am from New York. I'm on the island. This sucks, man, Joey. You know, but no. So I was like, don't do that. So I'll just go in with a no accent and try that. And then the first day of work was with J.J. Abrams. He was directing that pilot. He's like, it sounds like you're trying to hide an accent. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm supposed to be from Buffalo, and I'm obviously not. He's like, where are you from? I was like, Georgia. He's like, you're from Georgia. And he set me free on the first day. So I was like, what? That's the first time I've heard that in my entire career in Hollywood, you know, to lean into your accent. So
Can I ask you, because there is something online, not that I'm stalking you or anything, a little bit, but there is an audition of you, and I think it's with April Webster. Do you know the one I mean?
Yes.
And you're with a cigarette, a lighter.
yes, yes.
Was that your audition, or was that something else?
That was
that
my
a callback?
audition.
That was your audition.
Yes. I can't believe they put our auditions online.
Only yours. It's only yours.
Only mine? Set figures.
I'm sure the answer to this will be different for both of you, but what was the moment where you were like, this is gonna be big. I don't need to do any like auditions anymore. Like I have some regular work for like for the next couple
Still
years.
waiting for that moment.
Me too. When is that moment going up?
Like, what was the moment you're like,
Well, for me, well, there was all this, it's the most expensive pilot in history, there's 14 cast members, everything that statistically said you're canceled. So when we all got there, we all talked to each other, don't throw away your boxes. So we bought a TV and a little bed or whatever, and I kept my boxes in the closet in case I had to return that shit quickly. And that's when I knew that it was going on. We could throw away our boxes. When the ratings came out and people were going crazy, we were like, wow, okay, I can keep that TV. So that was the moment for me.
I think, so I joined in season 2, the season ended, season 2 as a recurring and season 3 as a regular. And I didn't have that feeling that they all went through, you know, the originals, as somebody once said to me. We're only the originals only. Don't say no then. I'm not gonna say who. In a photo shoot. But I did, and I don't like flying. So when I got to Hawaii, I hardly ever left. So I didn't really understand the buzz that was happening on the mainland. It was only when we went to New York and I went to the Empire State Building. No, I went to. Oh my God. I was going to say, what's that thing? The girl, Statue of Liberty. Obviously not American. I am an American. Anyway, went to Statue of Liberty, and there I was like, I was spotted. And you know when you get spotted?
Yes.
It spreads like wildfire. Just the guy from Get the Phone. I was New York. And you know what New Yorkers are like, though? Get it, honey, get it, okay. And it's very aggressive. And that's when I realized, oh wow, this is big. My kids were trying to protect me. That was the first time I thought, oh, this is big. Yeah. Prior to that, I had, in Hawaii, I don't know, you were the same, but no one cared.
They were just like, shaka, all right, you know, but cool, you know.
okay, we are gonna have time for fan Q&As. We have a mic set up here and here. I'm gonna ask one more question that'll give you time to line up. What I will say is the shorter your question, the longer the answer that they'll give you.
Not necessarily.
Can you tell us, since the statute of limitations has passed, like what is any behind the scenes stories that may come up when the two of you or any cast members get together and you do, like one of those things that starts like, do you remember that one time when?
I didn't really work with the main group that much. So I hung out with Alan Dale and Sonny Walger mainly. So I was hardly ever with a big group. So you probably have more stories about the big group stuff.
Yes, but I can't tell you all that. No, we had a good time, and we had a lot of fun. Time for comedy and practical jokes, and it was a different set back then. So you could tell off-color joke, dirty jokes if you want, and play practical jokes. And so there was a lot of that, and it was fun, a lot of fun. But that's all the detail I can give.
You mentioned the guitar on set. Like, who was playing guitar and who was singing? Were you singing?
I was trying to do all of it. You kidding me? I was like, I play guitar, Naveen Andrews played guitar, Jorge was singing, Terry O'Quinn.
Very talented bunch.
The girls could sing, like all beautiful voices, and then even Ken Leon came and got his iPhone out and he started making an instrument out of that, because he could do that rock band thing. So we would just mix everything. It was just fun community, really good time.
Okay, fan Q&A. We're going to start over there. Say your name, where you're from, and what your question is, please.
Hi, my name is Nancy. I'm from here, and I'm sorry about that. I do want to first say I am absolutely gutted that Duster was canceled, because
Me too.
amazing.
Thank you.
You for that. And we were just saying how Lost is uniquely a show that if you meet someone that you've never met before and you find out they're a Lost fan, you're instantly best friends, and that doesn't happen with other shows. So I want to say thank you for my friend group, because they wouldn't exist without Lost. But if you could have played, either of you could have played any other character on the show, what would have been the character you would like to play?
Any other character that you can play?
Not the doctor, he had too much emotional stuff. I love Terry O'Quinn's character, but I needed to be older, I guess, because he was like an anchor like that. But I loved the arc of that.
Yeah.
From the wheelchair to the smoke monster.
Absolutely.
It was a journey.
Yeah. And Henry, what would you have rather played?
Gosh, that's because I love Desmond so much.
Me too.
So this, I don't know. I do remember there was a time when my kids were playing Lost, my son, and they went to the same school as Matthew Fox. And they were, they were playing like the characters of Lost, and I just said to my son Esau, so you were playing Desmond, I take it. And he went, no, I was playing Jack. I was like, what? So I'm gonna say Jack as well. I want to play Jack.
Well, thank you. Sawyer and Desmond are my favorite characters on the show, so thank you. Today is a treat.
Thank you.
Next question over here on my right.
Hello, gentlemen. It's funny you mentioned it, because I had my question prepared because I rewatched the show last year, and I noticed you two actually only had the one scene together, the scene with the whore. So I guess my question would be, if Sawyer and Desmond had more scenes together, what sort of relationship do you think they would have had?
Between the characters of Desmond and Sawyer?
Yes.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Yeah. I think... let me get back to you. Well, that's a good question. I don't know why, because that scene, what were we doing? We were shooting a ball for...
Oh, no, the scene was I was coming to you for help because they hated me. And I was trying to get... and they so much liked you, I was like, they're gonna kill me off this show.
Wait, when you say they, who?
No. So I came to you and you were like,
I think
helping
Hurley
me
was like conning you or
get food for them.
Right, so we were shooting a ball together, we were practical, we were pragmatic, we were helpful, we were doing stuff, that was good. So, yeah, that could have been fun, we could have gone hunting together.
We could have done a lot of stuff.
You could have taught me how to fish, I could have taught you how to golf. We could have had a great romance. Oh my gosh, we can still do it.
Yes.
The offshoot. What do you think? Sawyer and Des sailing around the Pacific.
Hey man, I'm progressive, let's go.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for that. We came to Lost for the mysteries, but we were hooked by each of you and kind of like how we cared for you and we were engrossed by you. how did you, while you were filming it, make sense of the mysteries, the overarching stuff, the numbers, the hatch? Or did you even, was that just like, I don't know, just like, I'm just gonna pay attention to the script? Like, how did you try to understand the bigger picture?
Sometimes. Everything that happened in the show, every script that I was given, I made sense of it in my own head. So I always had a story, an understanding of what was going on. I never ever did something that I thought, I don't know what's happening, except season 6. That's when I had to phone the producers. I phoned Carlton and Damon. I said, listen, I don't really know what's going on. And they got kind of irritated because they said, you want us to tell us, you want us to tell you the end? And I said, no, I just want to be able to do my job. But prior to that, everything that happened in the scripts, I always had a story. I had a truth for everything I said, every scene I had my own truth for it. And that's just how I approached it. Whether it was right or wrong, I don't know, but it was my truth.
And you had some continuity for yourself, so you knew kind of...
In my head, yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it wasn't right, but I just went with it.
I was opposite, yet the same. My truth was survive at all costs.
You mean on the show as an actor?
It's my understanding of the character. He was on this island. He didn't understand what was going on.
No one did.
No one did.
No, that's not true. I'll fight you to the death.
But the autograph table later, he'll...
Yeah, Sawyer was just less concerned about the mysteries of it all. Is like, he just was like, life's a bitch. Okay, whatever. Survive.
So like, in the moment, just, like, I have to survive to the next hour, the next day.
Exactly. And he was surviving himself, like, a lot. So it was just that. That was my through line, survive. And I thought I was understanding things. I went to Damon and Carlton the first season and said, the island's like the Death Star, it moves. And they got all weird and irritated with me, and I was like, I didn't say that. I'm out. And so I never mentioned anything about theories again.
You pitched that? The island was like the Death Star?
That's what I said to them, and they got all weird with me, and I was like, I looked down and said, I was never here.
You mentioned Death Star. Sawyer had so many in-jokes about Star Wars. Was that in the script, or was that you coming out that, like, you had calling people like Chewie and Solo and stuff like that?
No, that was them, 100%. The only nickname they let me use was Sticks. I called Maggie with her legs Sticks on the off time, and they heard that, and they put that in the script.
Next question.
Hi, it's wonderful to see you guys.
Hello.
And it's very true in terms of a type of show that you have to wait every week until you find out what's going to go on, and no internet, and everyone's talking to each other and looking and trying to find signs as to what's going on. Very similar to his question. How confusing was that? Because it was confusing for the viewers to follow. And did you know where this was going to loop around to and what the ending was going to be? I mean, it was really, it captures you, and then you go, okay, I don't know what's going on now.
I had no idea.
What did you Well, it sounds like you just went with whatever the script
I had no
was.
idea, and I was just very interested how they were going to pivot from everyone's understanding that it was a purgatory in a way. And I was like, how are you going to do that? And I was just curious. Yeah. And they did it in their way, which I still don't understand. Please explain.
Yes, Desmond, you said you understood. So.
Yeah, no, we got the scripts 2 days before we shot an episode.
2 days.
So we didn't know, so we were just as excited as you all were to find out what was happening in the next episode. And, you know, we were ravenous when we got the scripts. What is happening? Well, first of all, am I still in it? What do I... Because you never know. But, yeah, we were just as excited, and I love being behind in a show. I hate being ahead, you know. If I'm ahead in a show, I'm bored. But if I'm behind, I go, what's happening? Then I'm hooked. So, and they did that very well.
Well, thank you for intriguing us for all these years. It was sensational, and it
You're
still
welcome.
is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question, over here.
Hi, my name is Manny from Miami. I actually have a question for both of y'all. It's 2 parts. So you guys were in purgatory the whole time, or what really happened? Were you guys even at the island? I have that question. And then if you got to choose a different ending for the show, what would it have been?
Something we understood.
What was your first? I didn't hear the first part of your
Was
question.
it purgatory? Were you guys even at the island, or was it, like, what was it?
No, it wasn't purgatory. What happened on the island happened.
It did happen.
Yeah, everything that happened on the island happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And what would be my preferred ending to the
Yes.
show? The way the show ended, I think, is the way it should have ended.
I actually agree, because I always thought it was purgatory, but then they did the parallel life thing, and then I was like, okay. So I'm not really clear, but I bought it. I did have a cabin in the mountains of Colorado. I offered the writers in case people were coming after me.
Thank you.
After all these years, are there certain lines or moments from it that circle back to you? Like there's like you can Google and find like most famous lines of Desmond, most famous lines of Sawyer, but are there any that resonate with you, like that stick to you, or that you're asked to sign, or that come up?
Well, there's the one, because I had children at the time, and I had to band that little action figure because it had that little button on it, and it was like, I'm a complex guy, sweetheart. And there's nicer ways to wake a man up, Fraggles, that kind of stuff. And my little baby boy was like, so now that action figure is missing an arm and is sitting in a potted plant outside by the fireplace with no button. So those resonate with me because I had to destroy the thing.
The line that I get most asked to sign is "See you in another life, brother." So that became my catchphrase. Yes.
Next question, over here. Name and where you're from.
I think we can all agree JJ can start stuff, but he shouldn't be allowed to try to finish it. Anyway, as someone who was a teenager in the 2010s, I admit I fell into the YA dystopia craze, so I remember the 100. So I gotta ask, why is it, as someone who's actually been on a CW show, that they all start great, the first few seasons are good, and then it goes into like a weird tailspin by the end?
Is that what happens on all CW shows? I'm not aware of all CW shows, but is that? I'm guessing that's your interpretation of the 100.
Your experience from the 100, I mean.
So with the 100, I actually think the opposite. I think the 100 didn't start off too well. It kind of kicked in about episode 5 of season 1, and then we had a different aesthetic. It got a lot darker, a lot more handheld camera. The design of the show changed, and then it kind of peaked in season 3. I think that's the normal trajectory of a show. They peak, and then they get to a point and they kind of tail away, and that's when they usually get cancelled, and that's when the show ended. So I think that's the normal trajectory. It's hard to end on a high. That's, and for a show to do 7 seasons and to end on a high, that's very difficult. Even to get to 6 seasons, that's pretty good for a show. I left at season 6, so I never saw season 7. But I hear it went a bit trippy.
I guess the only guy who can do it is Vince Gilligan.
Did that ended on a high? Yeah, that's rare, right? I mean,
It's really rare.
yeah.
Thank you for that. Next question, look over here.
What superpower would you choose for your character on Lost if you could choose one, and why? But not teleportation.
What superpower you could have on the show, and why?
Other than teleportation. Yeah, that's a good one. Josh? you got, Josh?
I would learn to distill beer and whiskey out of coconuts.
Very good one.
Very practical.
Is that a superpower?
Yes.
With nothing. With your mind.
In my mind.
Just. Gosh, superpower would be. Oh God, I'm blanking now. I don't know. Gosh, superpowers.
Time travel, flying.
I could time travel. That was like a superpower, wasn't it? So I had superpowers. There you go. I time travel.
Didn't you have superpowers?
I did.
And you could see the future.
Yeah, and I could see the future. I had loads of superpowers.
Nothing like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Everybody had this question. I know it's going to be difficult. Would you go back for more Lost? Like even a TV show, movie, a reunion and a free trip to Hawaii? Like I know you're already there. Like is there a situation where you'd like to reunite with the cast? Even just, I don't know, just a panel here at Florida Supercon next year. Like, is there a world where that is something you would want to do?
Give us
Always,
Lily.
for me. I've always, it's magical. I love everyone involved, and I miss them. I haven't seen a lot of them in like 20 years, 18 years. So
Why is that? That's a long time to not be seeing you.
I don't know.
Sorry, that was putting you on the spot.
It's weird how it's the industry. We do
Yeah,
that.
you're right, yeah.
And what keeps us together are our wives. You keep in contact. So that's how it works.
Yes and no to that question. You know, yes, I would like it if it was good, but would it be good? You know,
Right.
would we mess it up? So I'm kind of scared. Yes, I would love to revisit that character of Desmond and play that again. But it kind of scares me as well that if we did start messing with something like that, then I don't know what the legacy would be. So,
It'd have to start with a great script.
yeah. So I don't know who would touch it. I think somebody will eventually. You know, about 20 years time.
Okay. Next question over here. Name and where you're from. And your question.
My name is Jesse. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I just would like to say, dream cast if I could. You know, Josh, I think you'd make a killer Wolverine, and Henry, I think you'd be an amazing James Bond. Just saying, dream cast.
Seriously, why aren't you a casting director? I think you'd be a great casting director. I think you're spot on.
Me too.
We'll have my people call your people, right? But I just wanted to say I appreciate so much. I think a great spin-off for Lost would be Lost Love Island. Since they're trying to ship you guys here, I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of, whatever.
I like that.
But I just want to say how appreciative I am of the show because not every show ages well. And Lost, I think, has aged phenomenally because I remember watching it as a newly married guy with my wife and I. We were so excited when it was coming out and stuff. And now here we are 16 years later. I'm watching it with my son, who was a fanatic of the show now too because we were prepping a trip to Hawaii. We wanted to go all the places where you guys filmed on the island. So just want to say how appreciative we are of your show and your time there and all this stuff.
We're honored as well. That's awesome. Sharing with your next generation is amazing. I love that.
Josh, I'll be honest with you, it was a little frustrating watching this show with you on it because somehow every episode your shirt would burn off, or
Yeah!
polar bear would tear it off. You know, I'm in shape. Round is a shape, right? So, but watching it with your wife and your shirt keeps burning off. Not an easy thing to do. But anyways, my question comes. And
My wife is the same, watching Dust Up. Josh is so cute. Look at him. He looks great. He's the same age as you.
Thanks, honey. Thanks. By the way, Penelope and Desmond were my favorite couple.
Okay.
So that's for sure. Okay, so getting to I apologize, I was rambling. Getting to my question. Was there anybody on the show that, because you guys were there for a long time, and like any other family, you're gonna be bumping heads and stuff. Was there anybody that maybe you didn't like at first, and then you went on to become like best friends?
Josh.
Just this weekend.
I didn't trust this guy. He was too good looking. The character was too good. I was like, they're killing me off. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Was there someone that took a while to warm up to?
No, not for me. I'm like a Labrador retriever, you know. I'm like, I love everybody, so it's good.
I think as you got to know people more, because obviously you turn up, you don't know anyone, so you're just like, hello. I got very friendly with Nesta Carbonell, who I never worked with, but we just had a sort of a Latino background.
Mr. Eyeliner.
Yeah, and well, yes. So yeah, anyway, his name's Nesta. So I got very friendly with him post-show, and I've got even more friendly with Dan Day Kim since the show. He's the only one that stayed on the island, and Hawaii. I mean, but to be again, never worked with them, but yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I know this panel's about Lost, but since someone else brought up among other projects, I have to ask you about Flint.
Yes.
I'm so excited about this. I love the book. I read it. I remember checking out from the library when I was a kid.
Really? All right.
Then I saw like the interview where I was just like, you've been working on it, and I've seen stills from it. Can you tell us about it for the people that don't know what Flint is, or Lewis, the author?
So this project, the most prolific frontier writer in America is Louis L'Amour, right? And Louis L'Amour books, he's written over 200 books, and I have just read them as a child, a little 3-day reading books kind of thing, and I read Flint when I was still on Lost, and I was like, I want to do this book, so I contacted his son because Louis L'Amour has passed, and so his son, Bo, met with me at a hotel room when I was doing a press tour for Lost, still on it, and he said, you're too young, because he was supposed to be kind of my age now, the character. I was like, come on, man, we'll gray the beard up, blah, blah. But I've been chasing this project for 20 years, and I wanted to just kind of open up that whole world. I grew up with Westerns every Saturday, you know, and I wanted to bring that back. So my pitch was a book a season, like a series of mini-series and all this, but then somehow we got out of nowhere, this billionaire is a huge Louis L'Amour fan. It's like, I'll fund it, because Hollywood's not making like this kind of Westerns, lower budget Westerns since Rust and the tragedy with Alec Baldwin and stuff. So we got funded out of nowhere, and it's an amazing book. I love a movie that's an adaptation to a book because the story is solid, and so it's a solid story, and my first Western, real Western, so picking up where Plant left off.
I'm really excited to coming up with that. Henry, like I was going to talk about upcoming TV, but then I noticed like how involved you are with the acting community, and you recently got made president of SAG, like after it, like in like Hawaii. Like, is that correct? Like,
no, I'm not president. I'm the national board member for Hawaii, representing Hawaii at the national board. But yes, I am running for president for the SAG.
We'll vote for you, but
For you, certainly.
so what is it like? Like I believe you said you first came to Hawaii for Lost, and that's become a home for you, and you're a big part of the community, not just the acting community, but a part of the community. And what's it like, I don't know, kind of like you're continuing to be that emotive, caring person, but now for your fellow like actors and developing that space, like how is it for you since it all started with Lost?
Yeah, well, I grew up in the West Indies in Trinidad, and when I arrived in Hawaii, it was very similar to Trinidad, an island in the West Indies, and I immediately thought, oh, I know this place, and my wife is also from an island in Scotland called Isla, and so we knew island life, and yeah, we quickly, because we had 3 sons who were 4, 8, and 12, 6, 8, and 12 at the time. And you know, when your kids are that age, you get involved with the community, the parents, and I really got involved with the community, not just the acting community, but a big soccer and Muay Thai community. So that's my life, and it's my world, and so I have a lot of friends there, and anything I can do to help and support, especially in the film and TV community, you know, I can have a little say. So I have, my wife is also a theatre director, so we do a little bit of teaching. I work on a lot of short films, just giving back. You get to an age where you want to give back, so and I'm living there, so I'm just giving back, and I'm really enjoying what I can do to help that community. So yeah, it's just my life.
Next up, fan question. Name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Robin. I'm actually from Buffalo, New York. And we don't have accents in Buffalo.
Thank God. See, I would have been wrong even about that.
Unless I have an accent too. But anyways, my question. So Lost is an emotional journey and so many aspects of humanity are touched on. And as a viewer, I feel like I learned many lessons from the show that I've been able to translate through my life. For you guys, through your characters or just the experience of the show, are there any lessons that you learned that you still carry with you?
Are there lessons from this show that you still carry with you?
Gosh, Desmond was such a great character and such a good man and so noble and so steadfast and always trying to do the right thing. So, when I was playing that role, I was just always thinking, I'd wake up in the morning and I was Desmond. I was very in that character the whole time. What would Desmond do? It was kind of like, what would Jesus do? What would Desmond do? How would
also played
do
Jesus,
this? So I was just like always thinking, what would Desmond do in this situation? You do the right thing. So I guess, yeah, that's always been, just trying to do that. Always trying to do whatever, even though I mess up continuously, do try and do the right thing.
I don't know, Sawyer's difficult to take
What would
lessons
Sawyer's
from. What would Sawyer do? He'd be pissed and he'd do the wrong thing, and then he'd
No, but Sawyer was had a good
later, so.
Sawyer had a really good heart.
He did.
Yeah.
I less take lessons from it, but I am doomed to repeat his behavior. So I'll be confused, I'll get angry about it, and then I'll learn later. And that's life for me. So that's kind of a repeating thing.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Next question.
Hello, my name is Craig. I'm born in Jamaica. My question is, well, I was a big fan of all the mysteries that the show presented. The smoke monster, the polar bear coming out of nowhere, whatever. So I just wanted to ask each of you to share your favorite mystery from the show and how satisfied you were with the resolution of it, if it got resolved.
What was your favorite mystery from the show, and was it the four-toed statue? That four-toed statue? I just can't get it.
Oh, that